Dirty Sports, episode 881. Wow. Getting near that 900. All right. We are live on YouTube in 5, 4, 3. Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Andy Ruther, coming to you live from Cincinnati, Ohio, with my co-host from Los Angeles, California, Joey No Chill Prano.
Hello, Andy.
Good evening.
Good evening. I love that anytime we're running late, Jesse Stanga gives us either the fucking Dave Chappelle cracked out gif or the Al Bundy looking through the door gif. Jesse, we're here. I hope you're in the YouTube comments, buddy. We're here. Andy said it's getting late, and you pushed this. You had youth basketball practice today, and you were like, "Can we go?" And I was like, "You're really killing my." Well, first you were like, who cares about this Thursday night game? It's Eagles, Texans, it's shit. And I was like, yeah, buddy, we got a World Series game to watch. And you came back with like, oh, listen, you want to do this tomorrow? And I was like, I can't. Jesse Stanga's on Twitter with the fucking Al Bundy gif. Let's just get it done. I'll put the game on in the background.
Yeah, that's on me. I'll take the blame. I had a complete mishap. We had to push our guest as well, our DirtBall guest, who's gonna reveal all the Jameis one-on-one stuff. Push that for next week as well. I don't know what I was thinking. Like, I know it sounds ridiculous, 5th grade basketball, but I was picking my nephew up from school at 3, and my girlfriend this morning was like, "Well, what time are you doing the show?" And I said at 2. No, she goes, "What time are you doing Dirty Sports?" I said at 2, and she goes, "Aren't you picking up your nephew at 3?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's like, I don't know, Joe. You know, it was one of those brain farts."
So it seems like we know who's running the ship over there at Casa Roscoe.
Well, normally,
House of Chicken and Waffles.
I wouldn't say that. I think it's pretty mutual.
Yeah. You think it's even? You think you guys are co-captains of that ship?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
In fact, I have a full blessing for the basement, like whatever I want. And we were looking at Papa Shots last night.
Wow. Going Papa Shot.
I was doing the measurements. It fits. So basically,
How serious a Papa Shot are we talking?
Like,
not some janky Papa Shot, right?
No, like Papa Shot's brand.
Papa Shot.
I mean, what do you think? Like, I was looking last night.
No, yeah, dude. Trust me. I'm well aware. I know some people. Shot. I know guys who've been like, "I'm gonna put Papa Shot in my basement." And I get there, I'm like, "What in the janky fucking Costco shit is this?"
Yeah, no, I was looking like, so Amazon sells it for the exact same price as Papa Shot, like a good single one. I don't have a room for the double one. A good single one, $220.
Yeah, you don't need a double. You go one at a time. It's way better that way anyway.
That's what I thought. $220.
Yeah.
And it would fit, and I would have the arcade. You've played my arcade, the little arcade, which she bought me. I have Pac-Man seats now that are official size, and they're like Pac-Man embroidered.
Yes.
Pac-Man. So like, then it's like, okay, this basement,
Uncle Andy with the arcade basement.
You know,
he's got his Halloween candy. You just luring the neighborhood strangers over, just leaving the York peppermint patties and the almond joys that you didn't give out on Halloween as a trail to your arcade basement, where then you Jeffrey Dahmer them. Did you watch Dahmer, by the way?
No, everybody's talking about it.
Yeah.
Did you?
I did.
Is it good?
It's good.
Is it worth it?
It's good. Yeah, sure. I mean, are you know all about Dahmer, like, generally, right?
I know a lot. I don't know specifics, because when all that went down, I was probably
you were pretty young. Yeah,
like 4th or 5th grade or something.
I remember hearing the stories and stuff like that. But like, I felt like I knew, like, if you were like, what's Jeffrey Dahmer's deal? I'd have been like this and this and this and this and this. But like, there's definitely shit I didn't know. And I was just like, is that real? And then you Google it and you're like, damn,
Well, I knew all I knew all the things and the messed up things. Like he was having sex with the bodies and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But like, how many people did he kill?
I think at the end of the thing they show like 18, but I think they think he was up to 30. But
So
he claims to basically have confessed for all of them, so maybe the number's right. It seems pretty legit. You should
now,
watch it. It's good.
was it always men he killed?
Yeah.
So he was just gay, or was he not, or was he both ways?
No, he's gay.
So messed up. I remember in college watching the Jeremy. They did a movie on it. Jeremy. Who's the guy? The Jeremy Renner.
No. Jeremy Renner did Dahmer?
I think he did.
Wow.
I'm gonna look that up. I'm pretty sure he did. I think around like it was one of those like straight to like Showtime or something.
Okay.
This is like before Hurt Locker. I could be watch. I'm gonna be completely wrong on this. I'm gonna pull this up. Jeremy Renner. Yep. 2002. He was Jeffrey Dahmer in a movie called Dahmer.
Wow.
I remember watching parts of that like in college.
2002's early Jeremy Renner.
Yeah, Hurt Locker didn't come out to 2008.
Yeah.
I heard an interesting Jeremy Renner story a few years ago on the comedy circuit.
You got to tell it now.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to reveal names here.
Okay. Josh Filipowski.
It's in that wheelhouse.
Yeah.
He used to host at O'Brien's.
Okay.
Very high energy comic.
Okay.
Used to also bartend.
Totally.
You know what I'm talking about?
The bartender in Santa Monica?
Yes.
Sure.
So he like knew a buddy who was boys with Renner or something, and he was hanging out. And this is like after Renner blew up, and he's at some like little get together with a few guys, and Renner comes over, and he's like, somebody's like, dude, you got no energy. You're so tired. And he's like, I've had sex with like 10 girls in the last like it was like one of those things where like he's like, dude, I'm spent. I can't like every girl just wants to have sex with me now. Like this is when he blew up, and he's just like, they just keep coming over. I just can't. Like and the comic we're referring to, he's like, it wasn't even a brag. You could tell he was just like exhausted. It wasn't even him bragging. He's just like, I just need to sleep, man. Like everybody just wants to have sex with me.
I'm going to start saying Jeremy Renner, hardly know her.
What a problem to have. I'm just so parched. I can't stay awake.
I just need a Pedialyte and a power bar. Get back out there.
And apparently it was like, it wasn't like, we're not talking like some 6 off the street. It's like,
yeah,
like all 10s.
I mean, he was in a fucking Best Picture.
I think he won the Academy Award for that.
I don't think he did, but the movie did.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
The movie won Best Picture, I think. The Hurt Locker.
You're right. I think you're right. That makes sense. Anyway, we got lots of sports to get to. We can talk Jamie Renner, but we got lots going on in the sports world, Joe.
Well, let me just say this, Andy. Let me say this before you get started. Not right now, not if you're listening to this, not if you're hearing my voice, you're watching this on YouTube. But the last couple episodes, you've literally been like, oh, yeah, and also baseball or whatever. Like, you want to talk about it? Like, even tonight, Andy was like, not even considering me having to watch the World Series. So when you push the show back, I sent out the bat signal, and I got Laz on a dirty slides that has already been uploaded in his live. So we have a Game 5 preview, rest of the World Series recap / preview. It's all we have a dirty slides up right now from today. So before we get into everything, I just want you to know, Andy, you don't have to, not that you were worried about it at all, but you don't have to worry about forcing yourself through some baseball talk too much, because we put up a slides.
We can talk baseball.
And I will and I'll tell you, Andy, and I won't spoil it for potential listeners of the Dirty Slides, but I brought what is becoming my favorite bit on the Dirty Sports over to the Dirty Slides, and even titled the episode, is Bryce Harper overrated or underrated?
Ooh, you brought it over, huh?
Yeah, because he's a fascinating one.
Well, it's an interesting series. I mean, you go from a 5 home run game, one pitcher, 5 home runs, to being no hit.
Yeah.
And here we are.
I mean, it's the same thing. Game 1, you have a huge Astros lead, huge Phillies comeback, and then just a dominating Game 2 win by the Astros. Then you have the big Game 3, you have a dominating win by the Astros. So here we are. My former Flame, Noah Syndergaard, is on the mound tonight for the Phillies. I unpacked that on the Slides podcast. You know, the emotions that come with seeing Zach Wheeler and Noah Syndergaard on the Phillies now, and I still have love for them. They're like an ex-girlfriend that I still get along with and I still talk to occasionally, but also you're like, you want the best for them, but also, you know, you don't want them fucking blowing up after you break up. Like suddenly, suddenly the actress that you dated when she was like a struggling actress waitress is now fucking wins an Oscar. Like you're rooting for
you don't want to go full female Jeremy Renner.
Exactly. You're rooting for her, but you don't want it to feel like, you know, man, all the things she accomplished without you.
And then you got Mattress Mac fighting with Philly fans.
Yeah.
I did see that. This is my takeaway. I did see that.
In a Phillies fans Mattress Mac fight, who do you root for?
Lightning.
I don't really like. I haven't heard Mattress Mac like talk or anything.
I don't know anything about him.
I know he gets press every year because he loves to make these bets, which like, I mean, it's better than Marlins Man, right?
Oh, Marlins Man's like non-existent now.
Yeah.
Funny stat. I actually went on his. I think he lost his Twitter account and had to restart it. He's not at games. I knew he had a huge fight with Jeter. He hated Jeter. There was something that happened with him and Jeter when Jeter became involved with the Marlins organization, but he's like not a thing anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who knows? You know,
you had heavy beef with Marlins Man back in the day.
I just thought he was such a douche. I don't even know. I couldn't stand him. I just like, it's like, hey, look at me. I'm at Dodgers Cardinals NLCS game. We're in a fucking orange. You know, it's just like,
yeah,
it's like everything that's wrong about society, in my opinion. Like,
you know, I met Marlins Man one time. Do you know that?
No.
And I wanted to get him all fired up about Andy Ruther because I was like, you know, my friend Andy Ruther, you guys had beef back then. He was like, I'm just so tired. I've had sex with like 12 women today. I can't do this right now. I was like, oh, okay.
I don't think that's true.
No, it's not true.
I don't think he was having sex with a bunch of women. Although, remember we posted that thing?
Remember he was like, he would bring like hot chicks to games though.
But didn't we post that thing? We posted on social. He was sitting in front of somebody and in some of his text.
Oh, yeah.
Was that through Guy?
Yeah, that's right.
Right?
Dude, the Dirty Sports is such a blur to me. I'm like, did we have beef with Marlins Man or did I just make that up in my head?
Well, we just kept calling him a cheddar dick.
Yeah. Well, that's obvious.
He's just such a, which by the way is a phrase
way tougher conversation. Who do you root for in a fight between Phillies fans and Marlins Man? That's a way tougher conversation. Mattress Mac, I'm like, I don't know. You're a gambling addict who sells mattresses. I'm team Mattress Mac. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a gambling addict that sleeps on a mattress. So I can relate.
I don't know who I'd root for between Marlins man and a Phillies fan. That's a tough call right there. So right now they're in the World Series playing tonight, and also the Eagles are playing.
Yes.
Which, by the way, do we have to like get in that pick real quick? Why don't we just get that in right now?
Okay.
Right before the game starts.
All right, let's do it.
Right? Like that way we have it. Joe, you felt two more. You're down 7 now.
Don't worry. I told you it's time for we're mid-season. I've taken all my information in, and now I have my strategy.
Okay. Well, we'll just get this pick in real quick.
Yeah.
13.5-point Eagles favorites against the Texans. Is it in Philly or is it
It is in Houston.
Okay. You want to go first or me?
Whatever you prefer, Andy. Do you want to go first for this one? And I'll
Eagles are covering spreads, by the way.
Oh, I'm aware.
They're 5-2 against the spreads. But I'm gonna take the Texans to cover. It's probably stupid, but I think I'm feeling you're gonna take the Eagles, and I think this is one I can maybe steal another point.
All right, let's go. I'll take the Eagles. I just think these Thursday night games are sloppy. 13.5 seems insane to me because you figure this game's gonna be low scoring. But as I put it through my new trust the process machine, it did spit out Eagles for me. So I have to, and you know me, I've probably given away a couple of games this year just picking against Eagles by heart, but now I've got to put everything through the machine. So the machine says Philadelphia. I sent the paper back through the machine and I wrote on it. I was like, FYI, it's Thursday night. Like, are we sure? Sent it back through. Came out Philly a second time. So I'm on Philly.
Okay.
And hopefully Philly wins and covers, and the Phillies lose and face elimination.
2-2. Who do you think wins that series? Are you still sticking with the Astros?
I am sticking with the Astros. Now, I did say this. I'll do another preview because this one I'd like your opinion on. I did say if the Eagles win tonight and go to 8-0, and then before they even play their next game, the Philadelphia Phillies win the World Series, knowing everything we know about their fan base, you can't believe in God after that, right? Like that's like kids with cancer shit.
Did you listen to our calls?
No.
I gotta play this call then. Are you serious? I can't believe you're saying this.
I'm serious.
It's funny that you bring up God, and wow, I'm just gonna play the call. This is hilarious. I literally just heard it 10 minutes before we went on air.
Hey guys, it's Brian calling in again, and there's been a lot of talk about curses lately, and I'm here to bring up another curse currently going on, a biblical curse, if you will. A few years ago, Prano said that the Eagles winning the Super Bowl was proof that God doesn't exist, and I called in and claimed that perhaps God was spiting Joe for his non-belief by making the Eagles win. Obviously, I'm just messing around. I don't believe that shit. I'm just goofing. But since then, we had the Nationals win, the Braves win, and now the Phillies are tied in the World Series. Is God cursing Prano for doubling down on his disbelief by giving all his division rivals World Series rings? He's no fan of Boston or the Dodgers, and they're the other two World Series winners in the last 4 years. Plus, right now we have the undefeated Eagles. Cowboys keep winning games. Prano, I think you need to repent. Otherwise, we might be looking at a Phillies-Eagles, double championship this year. And I will fucking go to church every Sunday if the Marlins win it next year. But I'd start putting money down on any team Prano hates. Condoms are for Jesus.
Well, I mean, this is essentially what I'm saying. Here's the only flawed reasoning there. And it's why I come back to, does this mean there is no God at all? Which is honestly, this is sort of the basis. I'm not an atheist. I'm an agnostic because I know that What I don't know, I don't know. What I do know,
Whoa,
I don't.
whoa, 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 whoa. I'm the one who've always been like, I'm more agnostic.
I don't believe in God.
So you're saying you're like team agnostic? You're
No,
always team atheist.
I don't believe in God. I don't believe there is a God. Okay. But also there could be, right? Scientifically, just because there's absolutely no evidence of something doesn't mean something doesn't exist. Right. But I believe that there is no God. I am leaning toward no God. Right. And part of that is like, why do babies get cancer? Like, what kind of piece of shit is this guy? If that's a thing, you know what I mean? And this is in the same realm. The Nationals, whatever. The Braves, they're a pretty racist franchise. We've settled on that. But the Eagles, the Phillies, Philadelphia fans, like, who spits on kids? You know what I mean? Who spits on kids? That's some evil. That's some evil in the world. Don't put that evil on me, So it's like, for them to have success, to me, it's like, how do you believe in God if God lets that happen? If God lets those people celebrate, how? And so you could argue maybe God is punishing me, or I'm more likely, God just doesn't fucking exist. And the Nationals and Braves and fucking Phillies had a good run.
These are deep questions. We're not going to resolve them. I find myself pondering.
I feel like I've resolved them. I feel like I feel like children with cancer and Philadelphia sports fans ever being happy is like a gigantic boot in my ass that's like kicking me off of the agnostic diving board into the atheist pool.
Well, you're all over the map here right now. But you could counter that with a lot of things we can't explain. Right? Like there's a lot of things you're like, I can't explain this. Like I've had some insane things happen to me where I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like whether they're spiritual, whether they're religious, whatever you want to call it. Right. It could all be coincidence. Who knows? I can't explain the shitty things that happen, nor can nobody can really explain that. But the Eagles and the Phillies, if they both won, I know a lot of people who share your sentiment about Philly being a dumpster fire. I just don't have enough experience there. I don't know.
Yeah, you would, but bro, we should do it. I just to like get you on the same page. Sometime we should just like go to Philly and you should like wear a Mets cap with me. And then you'll just be like, get me the fuck out of here.
So like they're that aggressive.
Yeah, they'll like spit
but
on
New
your
Yorkers are aggressive.
The New Yorkers like, you're a fucking asshole. Like, this guy sucks. This guy sucks.
Yeah.
That's different. Like, you're not allowed to have bottle caps in sports stadiums anywhere because Philadelphia exists. Because if they let you keep the cap on the bottle, then the beer doesn't come flying out of it. Then you could just use that as a projectile. There's fucking metal detectors because they were throwing batteries at JD Drew and Ryan Howard.
I mean, look,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. The truth is
JD Drew and Ryan Howard were on their team.
Yeah. And the truth is they did have and you spent time there. They had a jail underneath the old vet.
Let me ask you something. We just talked like Marlins, man. He's like one of our he's a show enemy, and or whoever, I don't know. Think of an enemy of yours. But if you were watching let's say Marlins man pops up at the World Series game today, right? And then he leans over to catch a foul ball and he falls onto the field and lands directly on his neck and doesn't move. And they've got to stop the game and they've got to take off his visor. They got to strap his head to a board. and he leaves the game and you think he might be paralyzed, you're going to be, even savage Andy Ruther will be like, okay, well, until we know he's not paralyzed, maybe we don't fucking. That's what happened to Michael Irvin. And they were like, fuck yeah, he's fucking dead. they were like, we don't have to deal with this receiver anymore because he's fucking dead.
I mean, I might make a Marlins man joke. You know, I mean, that's what I do. I'm not making a joke. I mean, I was making Tua jokes. Like if he had died on the field, like it's a joke. I wouldn't want it to happen. I mean, would I laugh a little? Like maybe I am a piece of shit. Would I laugh a little? I don't know. Probably not, but maybe. You know, I'm kind of twisted in that regard. I wouldn't be throwing batteries at a guy laying on the field.
We have breaking news, by the way. Are you seeing this?
What's up?
Breaking news. Here we go. From Shams. Nets statement on Kyrie Irving. We are of the view that he's currently unfit to be associated with the Brooklyn Nets. We have decided that Kyrie will serve a suspension without pay until he satisfies a series of objective remedial measures. Full statement: over the last several days, we have made repeated attempts to work with Kyrie Irving to help him understand the harm and danger of his words and actions, which began with him publicizing a film containing deeply disturbing anti-Semitic hate. We believe that taking the path of the education in the challenging situation would be the right one, and thought we had made progress with our joint commitment to eradicating hate and intolerance. We were dismayed today when, given the opportunity in a media session, Kyrie refused to unequivocally say he has no anti-Semitic beliefs, nor acknowledge specific hateful material in the film. This was not the first time he had the opportunity, but failed to clarify. Such failure to disavow anti-Semitism when given a clear opportunity to do so is deeply disturbing, is against the values of our organization, and constitutes conduct detrimental to the team. Accordingly, we are of the view that he's currently unfit to be associated with the Nets. Blah, 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 blah. And impact of his conduct and the suspension period served is no less than 5 games. So 5-game minimum suspension / indefinite until he fixes his life.
I think that's lame. Just fucking fire him if you don't want him on your team.
They could release him. I don't know.
I'm just saying the idea. Look.
Well, let me second what you were saying. This is what the Nets have been doing for how long? This is the Nets. Okay. This Nets organization. And by the way,
so let me ask you this.
Not to toot my own horn here. You remember when I had to battle trolls because I said I don't want Kyrie Irving under any circumstance? How long have I been on the fucking anti-Kyrie train? But the Nets have been doing this for 3 years.
So here's my thing. You're telling me as the Nets, I'm sick of like all the fake bullshit. You as the Nets, you are saying he's anti-Semitic, right? You want him to change, and that's whatever. Him taking education classes is not going to change his opinion. Like, if you're not satisfied with him, then fucking fire him. They can't. Dude, you're a billionaire. The Nets owner is a billionaire. Oh, you still have to pay him? Then pay him and say, don't show up again.
Listen, they could also do what, the fucking look at what happened to the Houston Texans. They essentially, like, Deshaun Watson essentially set out an entire year, and then they traded him. Yeah, he got paid, but they traded him. Should the Nets cut their nose to spite their face here and not get any value for Kyrie Irving? I don't think, again, for anybody who wants to do that wants to make any sort of Colin Kaepernick, equivalent. I don't think Kyrie Irving is about to be blackballed from every team in the NBA. I think some team will take Kyrie Irving.
Do you see my point though, Joe? Like the fake apology. They're basically saying they want a fake apology. And my thing is like, I hate that shit. To me, that's even worse.
I mean, I think that there's a couple things with the Nets here, but also the thing that happened yesterday, which was they donated and he donated to the Anti-Defamation League. And then they gave him an opportunity here today to basically apologize. I assume what happened is, and I'm assuming this, they asked him, they explained what they thought the situation was, thought they had a agreement with him on how to handle it, and then he didn't do what they wanted to, so they suspended him.
But see, here's my thing. Like, you have to, and I know like right-wing people are going to like hammer this point home, but did you ever read the ESPN piece on their owner? It was like a long piece.
Yes.
On their owner, Joe Tsai. Like, and it's basically that piece was saying his companies have direct ties to concentration camps. I mean, the irony of like Kyrie talking about a film that denies the Holocaust and and all that stuff is that the Nets owner literally has connections through their own genocide happening in China. So it's like, it's fun. It's comedy to me. Like,
well, you have to remember a couple of things.
You do see what I'm saying though? Like, it's comedy that the owner,
but we've done this. We've done the whataboutism thing a million times.
But I don't think this is a whataboutism here.
Well, you got to remember, like everybody said the same thing all the time. Money, 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 money. Follow the money.
Sure.
The neighborhoods in fucking Brooklyn, near and around fucking Barclays Arena, ain't Chinese, bro. New York
Jewish,
isn't the fucking largest population of Chinese people outside of China. New York has a lot of Jewish people.
For sure.
They were sitting front row at the Nets game the other night. Guys with Stop Anti-Semitism t-shirts on. The China thing that we went through a couple years ago in the NBA and, Daryl Morey and Steve Kerr and LeBron and blah, 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 and Nike and all that stuff. Where was that at the games? You're always going to answer to the people that are put in front of you. That's the thing that was always said about Colin Kaepernick was like, John Mara from the Giants, I never received more letters than I did about Colin Kaepernick situation. It's like, sometimes it's a vocal minority, but when you're hearing it, it makes it hard not to listen. Now, the thing with Kyrie Irving, my problem with this situation is you get into a predicament where like we are kind of talking about a Colin Kaepernick situation because this guy is giving his opinion, but like at the same time, he's not giving his opinion. He's not saying any shit. He's like low key diving in on some like Kanye West anti-Semitism, like bubble that's going on and just like sprinkling little things in there. And then instead of backing it, like I actually think Kyrie Irving has a better argument for not being suspended if he went full Kanye and just said, I believe this. I believe Jews run all the banks and have a fucking secret society to keep us all, instead of just like kind of just throwing a little tweet fuels on the fire of anti-Semitism that's already happening. It seems very weird. Now, like I said, the reason I think that this is going to be different than the Colin Kaepernick situation is, again, we've talked about it over and over and over again. The Niners can do whatever they want. The Nets can do whatever they want. If they don't want a guy on their team, they can do it. I don't think Kyrie Irving is about to be blackballed from all of basketball. And that's why the Nets didn't just release him. Because why would you release somebody that has value? Why did the Niners release a guy that? Because maybe he didn't have any value? Because they knew he was about to be colluded against by the entire league, which some other team, should probably see a situation here and pick the guy up. The other problem with Kyrie Irving is just like, I mean, we've talked about this over and over and over again. And I know the fucking wraparound sunglasses MAGA guys love to show you the one clip of Colin Kaepernick from the one game where he throws 4 picks. But Kyrie Irving has 30 different fucking distractions over the last however many years and isn't very good. He's just not very good. He's never led a team to a championship personally. He's never been the best player on a good team. In fact, as I said when he was leaving Cleveland, as I said when he left Boston, I want no part of the guy on my team. You talk about it, like, he seems like a guy who is just going to find a way to be a distraction.
Agreed. And that is even before.
I mean, we had a coronavirus situation, and he was an anti-vaxxer. Now there's this thing going on in the world about Kanye West and anti-Semitism.
Well, he was anti-COVID vaccine.
Yeah, he's a flat earther. He's anti-COVID vaccine. He thinks the Holocaust is a hoax. He thinks Sandy Hook is a hoax.
Well, does he?
Yeah, he tweeted Alex Jones was right.
But this is where I think it's important to not just say, oh, he was anti-COVID vaccine, so he's an anti-vaxxer. Like, I to be honest, I don't think that's fair. Like, if somebody was anti-COVID vaccine, I'm like, whatever, that's your belief. I think there's arguments to be made on all those things from all sides.
Again, when we talked about this when it was happening, the argument is the only argument you can make is if you want to help your team, truly, if you're a team first guy, you get it.
But I also understand, I also understand, like, if somebody's like, dude, I don't want to do that to my body. Cool, whatever. That's one instance. Like, I don't know if I don't know. Is he on record saying Sandy Hook is a hoax?
He tweeted Alex Jones shit, and then he got pushed back, and he said,
no. I know, but the only reason I bring that up is because Alex Jones obviously is an or said Sandy Hook was a hoax. Obviously, he's on the bill for billions of dollars for that. But Alex Jones has also said a lot of crazy shit.
Right,
maybe some of it ended up being. Do you see what I'm saying?
But then, so let's say somebody tweets something about this show. Tweets a rant of me saying Philly people are garbage, and then some guy some dirtball's boss says, "Hey man, I'm from Philly," and you tweeted this thing of Joe Prano ranting. You have two options there. You go, oh, it's a podcast I listen to, and he's joking, and he's doing entertainment, and I just thought it was funny. Like, look how crazy he is. He hates Philly people. I just thought it was really funny. Or you respond the way Kyrie responded, and you say, well, he's right. And then if that guy fires you, like, what the fuck are you going to do? Like, well, Joe Prano's right. And then you're like, well, so you think people from Philly are garbage. Well, yeah, I just said.
Is that what Kyrie said?
He said that he was right.
About Sandy Hook.
He replied to somebody and said, well, Alex Jones is right.
But was it about Sandy Hook? That's why I'm asking. I think it matters.
Yeah.
Now I haven't clearly followed it as closely as probably I should have on all this stuff.
Basically, it's the same thing that happened in this situation, which is in that thing, they say that the Holocaust is a hoax. And then
they say that in this, so this is a book, it's a film.
Right.
I mean, it's literally titled Hebrews to Negroes, Wake Up Black America.
Right.
And to me, like, you read and again, I don't know. I haven't watched it. I haven't read it. A lot of this is like religious stuff, basically saying that black people are the true Israelites.
Right. And no, that's not the thing people are taking issue with. People are taking issue with the fact that there's things in that are specifically anti-Jewish
that are in the film. Okay.
Right. And then I think when he comes out and he says, I don't believe everything that was in the thing, right? Like, I don't believe, he didn't specifically say what he did or he didn't believe. He just said, I don't agree with everything in it.
Do you know what I'm saying though? And by the way, like it's not even that I'm like defending Kyrie here. It's one of those, it's like, I just think in general now we want to associate, if you take something from, if you watch a movie and you're like, hey, there's some truth to something here, but a lot of the shit is wrong. Do you see what I'm saying? The difference?
I think it's a matter of like I think in this situation, it's really the timing. It's really the timing of everything. I said to you before we started the show, I think if Kyrie tweets this link to this book movie 4 months ago, it's a blip on the radar.
You do.
Yeah. But I think when Kanye West is
saying DEF CON to Jewish people. Yeah.
And then going on podcast after podcast after podcast and kind of defending himself.
Sure. And then
people are hanging banners over the 405 saying Kanye was right about the Jews, and people are projecting on the side of buildings Kanye was right about the Jews. You're like, wow, there's this thing. There's this thing that's been inflamed that's happening. And then for Kyrie to do it, it almost feels like, and you can't get inside the mind of a guy who's a flat earther.
Sure.
But it seems like he's diving in on the topic at hand.
No, for sure. And obviously that's why I brought it. Like, where there's smoke, there's fire.
To me, if you're the Nets GM or the Nets owner or the NBA or Adam Silver or whatever, you're probably like, bro, are you hopping in on this anti-Semitism thing? And then he says, I don't believe everything in that movie. And they're like, yeah, dude, what we need you to say is that you're not hopping in on this anti-Semitism thing. And he's like, I am what I am, but I'm a potato. Look, and you're like, okay.
I agree. He's being very vague.
They were basically, it feels like to me what they said is like, we just need you to say you're not hopping in on this anti-Semitism thing. And he refused. And they're like, that makes it seem like you are.
No, I agree that he is being so elusive in these answers, and he's not saying, again, I can watch a documentary or I can watch something and say, hey, there's some things I agree and there's some things I don't agree, especially if it's something so out there like this, right? Like that's what he's doing wrong. You know, I can watch a documentary on 9/11 and say, okay, there's some things here I can entertain. And there's some things here I'm like, well, that doesn't add up to me. You see what I'm saying? Like, but he's not doing that.
Right.
And he obviously has a shitty history and a shitty track record.
It just really feels like what it feels like is like, if you had got, let's say you go, you're babysitting your nephew and you go downstairs and like, there's just like everybody in the family's Halloween candies wrappers are like on the floor and all the candy's gone. And you're like, did you eat all the candy? And the kid's like, well, listen, candy disappears sometimes. And, there was candy here before and there's not candy here now. Now I didn't eat all of this candy, yeah. Did you eat this candy? And it's like, listen, man, candy gets eaten. And you're like, bro, I'm going to have to punish you unless you tell me you did not eat this fucking candy. Like Kyrie is just dancing around it. And that makes me think he ate the fucking candy.
Yeah. And that's totally a fair assessment. I think, like you said, Kyrie's been a cancer everywhere he's gone.
Everywhere. The Nets. And also the other thing that needs to be talked about, and this is something that would have led this discussion had they not just suspended Kyrie. Steve Nash just mutually left the Boston Celtics, the Brooklyn Nets.
Well, that's totally a lie.
Well, honestly, I don't even think, I think they did mutually. Like, they're not playing well. And I don't think Steve Nash wants to be like Steve Nash is a pretty good dude. Like,
well, he's not, and I don't think. Sorry to cut you off. I don't think he wants to babysit, man.
I don't think he wants to babysit, but also Steve Nash did a pretty good job not fucking taking a side on the whole Kyrie Vax thing. Like, he was just like, listen, we're going to deal with Kyrie being here when he's here. And if he's not here, like, I can only coach the players. But like every day, Steve Nash had to go out there and answer a question about Kyrie Irving and vaccinations. And I think that's like you said before, I think it's a very easy thing to be like, listen, everybody's got their own beliefs about their own body and what's healthy for them. And who am I to say what fucking is or is not something that somebody should do? Who am I to say what somebody should value over whatever? Now, I think Steve Nash wanted to say, if this guy cared about his team, he would get the fucking shot. But it's maybe Steve Nash is a better man than me and is just going to say, you know, like, I approve of what everybody wants to do with their body. But it's a lot harder to go out there and be like, hey, man, I think your point guard might hate Jews. And he's like, well, you know, we're all
no, for sure.
Hate. And, you know, we'll deal with him while he's here. We're not like, that's a tough thing. And Steve Nash had to take those on the chin for a while. I think Steve Nash was like, yo, I think I'm ready to go. We're not very good. What are we doing here? I really don't want to answer questions about whether our point guard is or is not forming an army with Kanye West to go DEFCON 3 on the Jews.
No, for sure. And I agree. That's a exhausting situation to be put in where you have to answer because he won't answer. And he dances around it. Like you said, he's not giving answers. He's not giving any specifics. He's just saying, I'm not anti-Semitic, but he's not providing any examples to validate that. He doesn't help his own cause. And then as the coach, you got to deal with this. And then you got to deal with Kevin Durant and his million burner accounts. Dude, I just want to coach basketball. Right. You know what I'm saying?
And listen, that's the argument. I've heard this argument with the Colin Kaepernick situation. He was more of a distraction than he was a value. And you can say that, and that's fine.
Sure.
But we also, again, have seen in the NFL teams in the most desperate of situations where they needed a quarterback or they needed a receiver and they bring in the guy. And I think that we saw in the years following Colin Kaepernick leaving the 49ers that there were situations that were so dire at quarterback that they would have put up with the questions they would have put up with the distraction for the player, but they couldn't because there was collusion against him and everybody agreed to blackball the guy.
Well, look, your talent, I always say your talent, if you got other shit going on, your talent has to exceed the off the field shit, off the court.
But I'll say this, dude. I'll say it straight up. Like, Kyrie, not that good. Kyrie, going to end up on another team. Kyrie Irving, in his career, we have seen not nearly as valuable to a basketball team as, let's say, a starting quarterback would be in the NFL. Also, Colin Kaepernick just said, let's stop shooting on our black people. And Kyrie Irving may or may not be jumping into the fray in hopes of like hating a group of people.
Yeah. Well, I never would, I would never even contemplate adding him to my roster for all that stuff. And again, it's like, does the talent, is it worth it? It's like, we've seen that with an Antonio Brown, and obviously the Bucks made it work for one season in the Super Bowl, and then he lost his mind. We've seen it where you just question, like Tim Tebow is a prime example.
Tim Tebow is a prime example.
You're like, dude, it doesn't equal. His talent level is terrible. It does not equal all the other bullshit
that comes with it. And he got signed 4 times.
And everybody kept giving him a chance. And I kept saying, why? This guy's not worth it. He's not worth it.
And the argument always in that situation, and this is, I think, is is the bottom line is the argument is always, but Tim Tebow's distraction is a positive. It's like, no, there's no such thing as a distraction is a distraction. And also, I would argue that being
Look at Russell Wilson right now.
Right. And I would also argue that you're kind of a piece of shit if you think being a Jesus freak virgin is like somehow better than being somebody who's like, hey, we should stop killing unarmed black people. Now, I would agree both of them are better than I hate Jews.
Sure. And I would also argue as well, or add to the Tebow thing of saying, if you really are a big Jesus loving Christian, you wouldn't bring that attention on yourself, which you're willingly doing. You're willingly bringing that attention all yourself, which is literally the exact opposite of how Jesus lived. You're being selfish where he was selfless. Anyway, look, I think Kyrie at this point, I think he's thought this for a long time. I think he thinks he's smarter than he is. It all started with it started with the flat earth thing, right? I never would have thought this would transpire to where it's gone into this situation where it's like he's over analyzing things. He's always looking for some sort of, fine line to weave in and be like, well, if we thought about it this way or whatever, whatever it is. But look, man, if you don't,
I just hope
if you don't play basketball,
I just hope that when Kyrie Irving eventually has to take a contract to play in China, like he's fucking Stephon Marbury, I hope some really funny travel agent is like, do you want to fly west to China or do you want to fly east to China? Because you can go either way, honestly. And he's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I just hope they don't have a layover in Tel Aviv or anything. Because that might be on the way, right?
Depends on which way you go.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, look, I don't know. I mean, look, again, I think it's bullshit as well, though, to double back on that. It's like, guys, just fire him, man.
Yeah.
He's not worth your headache.
Yeah. But he might be worth whoever they get back for him from some desperate team.
What I hate is now, if you look on now, it's like everything we see in modern America in the modern social media technological age, where now it's turning into like this whole pitted thing of like black people against Jewish people. And it's like, it's only amplified more on social media, and I hate that.
Of course.
Like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not saying it's all Jewish people, it's all black people, but like now you see that it's me against you, my tribe against your tribe. And I hate that shit. Like, can we just
but meanwhile, Kyrie is tweeting about that they are the original Jews and blah, blah. It's like, I mean, listen, Kanye West is a great fucking musical producer. And he's like a halfway decent rapper. And he's got some hook in the stylish world, but like, he's crazy. And he's open about that. He's fucking bipolar. He's been medicated his whole fucking life. He's not that smart. Like, you hear him talk. You're like, you're not that fucking smart. And the same thing goes for Kyrie Irving.
Dude, that clip of Kanye where he doesn't want to say it and then he says Jewish people.
What about Kyrie? Kyrie yesterday said he reads the dictionary.
I didn't see that. That's hilarious.
He literally said, I'm smart. I read the Oxford Dictionary. I read the Oxford. Yeah, Andy. Put Oxford Dictionary into fucking Twitter, bro. Where you been, dog?
I don't know.
You've been coaching youth basketball. You haven't had to deal with any fucking Holocaust hoaxers on your 4th grade team, hopefully.
5th grade, no. Okay. 3 minutes, 28 seconds. Can I get one it's the only one that's popping up? Where does he say it? When does he say it?
Are you surprised that reaction and some of the things that you did hurt people?
Yeah, I think I can ask a better question. It's just, where were you when I was a kid, figuring out that 300 million of my ancestors are buried in America.
What?
Where were you guys asking those same questions?
I've already heard this multiple times, so I'm gonna get myself another Miller Lite.
Okay, I'm gonna play some of it. And
with learning about the traumatic events of my familial history and what I'm proud to come from and why I'm proud to stand here and why when I repeat myself that I'm not going to stand down, it has nothing to do with dismissing any other race or group of people. I'm just proud of my heritage and what we've been through, and the fact that this has pinned me against the Jewish community, and I'm here answering questions of whether or not I'm sorry or not on something I didn't create, and it was something I shared, and I'm telling everybody I'm taking responsibility, then that's where I sit. So, you know, these same questions that you guys ask, me dealing with it as being a melanated, pigmented person.
oh, he's trying. See, like like Kyrie, same tomato. You
Kanye, Kyrie.
You're trying to sound so fucking smart, man. You're trying to sound like you're this well-read, deeply educated individual. And you're just not, dude. You're just not. And for the record, it doesn't mean you can't be well-read and smart and educated while also being a basketball player. They're not mutually exclusive. But dude, are you taking courses on this stuff? You see what I'm saying? Like everybody's an expert now on everything. Nobody can just say, I don't know. You don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about?
And this is the thing that, like, the thing that I struggle with is like that people want to defer everything. Like the people who want to argue like this is wrong to punish Kyrie, like everybody becomes like a constitutional lawyer about like what is or what is not like free speech. It's like, can we just like agree that like you can be not smart? Like we're on the same page. You know, you've had issue with some things LeBron has done and said, and I'm on the same page as you. It's like LeBron and the book's always being on the first page, and he only knows so much, and like whatever. And you know, he definitely reads something for 2 minutes and then forms an opinion on. LeBron's not the fucking smartest guy. Okay, but can we agree a little bit? Like, to me, it's very reasonable to be like, if you're stupid, but you're trying to do something good, it's way different than if you're stupid and you're trying to do something terrible. Like, to me, that matters. If I owned a team, that would matter to me. If I'm a fan of somebody, that matters. Is LeBron the most well-spoken when it comes to like why every human being should be treated equal? No. But is the point the same? Oh, we have a fucking, you know, we have had a racial issue in America for as long as there's been America. And he's not great at making his point, but he's trying to make a point that has value. Kyrie is doing a terrible job making his point, but his point, I think, is that the Jews have a secret society and they're running the banks in the world and are out to get everybody else. That seems like, hey, man, I'll let you talk it out if you're trying to tell me something that like has value. But like to steal one from Kanye West, if you're trying to mumble your way through why you're an anti-Semite, I'm going to let you finish. But I'm going to leave. Because I don't give a fuck where this is going. Thank you and have a good day.
Well, I think when you said everybody's a constitutional lawyer, I think that's sadly the age we live in because of YouTube and Wikipedia. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody reads something and they think they know everything. Like even before we went on air, I even told you, I was like, look, man, I have not watched the movie or read the book Kanye's or I keep doing it. Kyrie's referring to. So like I can't speak on it because I haven't done my homework. Whereas like the opposite, I think, is true with all these athletes and people in general, right? Nobody does their homework. They hear something and they want to assume, hey, something is this and that way. But Kyrie is like the poster child, in my opinion, of projection. He's so insecure. He's deeply insecure. He's deeply insecure and he projects and he says things. He tries to sound smart. He's talking about he's reading a dictionary and he's insecure because his only title, he was Robin to Batman. Or, you know, Kyrie was number 2 to the alpha who was LeBron. And I think it's obvious. He's number 2 to Kevin Durant. It's like you've never been the alpha, man.
And when he was, Boston was worse.
Yes, they were worse. And you're trying to sound like you're, again, dude, you're not Malcolm X, man. You're not well read. You're not Cornell West. You're not a Harvard professor who's done their whole life studying Black history, things within the Black community. You're just not, dude. You watched a YouTube video. Sorry, man.
Right. You watched a YouTube video, which is the problem with fucking everybody today, basically, right?
Yeah.
Everybody getting information from YouTube videos that aren't fucking fact checked. But again, my point is, when we talked about this with Colin Kaepernick, the San Francisco 49ers and every other NFL team is a private company and therefore can hire who they want and not hire who they want. And my response to that has always been like, yeah, that's the law. But what I'm saying is, fuck them for hiding behind the law to punish a guy for saying something good, in my opinion. And now, the same ways we see what's going on with Elon Musk on Twitter, everybody wants to flip the script and say like, oh, now you guys hate free speech again. And it's like, I think a lot of people just like hate speech. Like they don't want to promote. It's not about free speech. It's about don't say hateful shit where you just pick one group and say that they're the devil.
But even that, you know,
I mean, can we just limit hate speech forever for just people in Philadelphia? They're the one group that fucking deserves it. They're garbage. Everybody else is let's not generalize people by a group unless that group is Philadelphia fans. Those are top to bottom garbage and cops.
But the Elon thing, there's no people like there's no evidence. Like he just took over. Like,
no, I know. I'm saying like when
let me ask you this. When
Twitter suspended Trump, all the Republicans were freaking out and they went to Parler and they went to Truth Social and whatever. And now,
but they didn't. They're all talk. They didn't.
Right, of course. And now that fucking Elon Musk is coming back, is taking over, and there's hints that Trump will be back or Kanye West has been on whatever, and people are going, well, I'm going to leave because...
And they won't.
Whatever. And they won't. But the point is, again, is like, isn't what was being said important? You know, like, doesn't that matter? Like, forget the constitutional law of it. Doesn't it matter that, like, LeBron James said Black Lives Matter and Kyrie is saying the Holocaust was a hoax? Like, that matters to me as a person.
Well, I don't know. Like, these are complicated issues when it comes to like the free speech and all that stuff. People can obviously say whatever they want. There also are repercussions. Like right. that's a reality. You know, how something like Twitter should be policed. I don't know. I would consider myself a very free speech absolutist, which is like, dude, I think anything should go, but I could be completely wrong. And I can admit that maybe I'm completely wrong. And maybe that just brings out the worst and that actually only creates more problems. I don't know. I just know that I don't have the answers. And if people like Kanye, or I keep doing it, fucking Kanye, Kyrie.
Yeah.
If they just said that, maybe if more people just said that too, hey, I don't have all the answers, I think it'd be a better place. Kanye equals Kyrie equals Kanye. They're the Spider-Man meme.
Except Kanye's way more talented.
I was just gonna say, if you put them together,
Kanye still makes bangers. That's the problem. That's the problem. Meanwhile, Kyrie, unfortunately, you don't want to make bangers in the NBA. This dude went fucking 2 for 25 and scored 4 points. He's also putting up bangers.
Yeah, I think I could take Kyrie. I think I'd take Kyrie in my Papa shot at this point. You know,
Fancy dribbling ain't going to do him no good in the basement where it's just about getting bucket after bucket after bucket.
Dude, I'm stoked about that Papa shot. I haven't even ordered it yet.
Mikey and I had a Papa shot in the basement when we were kids. Legit Papa shot like you had. And it ran its course. And eventually, like, the bars started fucking coming over. You know.
But how many years?
Yeah, a long time.
A long time.
A long time. The bars started coming down. The fucking, the ball return thing was janky. So what we did is we took the whole thing apart. And we just kept the backboard and the rim solid, though. Those rims are like little baby legit rims.
That's what they say. It's what they say in the description.
No, it is.
Your brother is a lunatic. Did you see the text he sent?
Yeah.
Me and you?
Yeah.
He's already putting up his Christmas lights. And I said, it's November 3rd.
And he
says, I have to get 85,000 lights.
Yeah. I can't start the week before.
He says it requires tape measure.
Yeah.
85,000 Christmas lights.
Yeah, he's a lunatic.
Your brother is like Clark Griswold on steroids.
Yeah. So in the Papa shot thing, we end up the thing comes down. We take the backboard and the rim, and we have my dad fucking put plywood on the wall in the basement, and we like hung the thing, and then we started playing 1-on-1 games on this fucking rim.
Amazing.
My dad, thinking he did us like a favor, put the Papa shot thing on the wall.
Hates you guys.
Because now we're in the basement. He's like upstairs in the kitchen, and I'm just like hammer dunking and Shaquille O'Nealing the rim down. He'd be like, "What the fuck is going on down there?" I was like, "Oh, I just banged one on Mikey and won and the foul."
Your Italian dad, who's like, "What the hell is this stupid American sport that I've just created?"
But also like love doing. We were like, "Dad, can you like put this on the wall for us?" And he's like, he loves being handy. He's like, "Yeah, we'll get some plywood and we'll nail the plywood to the ceiling and we'll run the plywood down the wall and then it'll hang on the wall and it'll be real sturdy." Little does he know it's so sturdy, I can now Shaquille O'Neal dunk on my brother and just like yank on the rim after. He's up in the kitchen trying to make fucking pasta vajol and he's losing his mind.
That's amazing.
He's like, "It's a fucking earthquake down there." I was like, "Yeah, it's a rim shattering earthquake." Boom, shakalaka.
We haven't even discussed NFL, Joe. Are you proud of me?
Yeah, I know. You were leaning toward it, and I was like, I'm gonna see if I can drag him off the spot.
We're like almost an hour and 10 minutes in. We got so much NFL.
Should we pick some games? Should we listen to the calls?
We got so much to do. Before we do that, I want to say you got a nice salute and compliment to your amazing Miller Lite hat. How sick that is.
This was sent to me by a DirtBall. I forget which one, sadly. So many hats, so many DirtBalls and so many hats sent in the mail. But this one was sent to me by a DirtBall, and I really appreciate it. It's awesome.
Looks fresh. And I'm happy to say we are going to continue working with Miller Lite for next year. Joe, our good friends at Miller Lite, who we've really enjoyed this partnership. It is the best thing that's ever happened to our show. I see you have a cold Miller Lite to celebrate. Well,
Andy, that's like, not that there's anything wrong with drinking a Miller Lite at 10 a.m. when I usually record the show. In fact, I've done it many times, but the evening podcast for me, the late afternoon podcast, the happy hour podcast, we start at 4:30 Pacific time. There's a football game on. There's a World Series game on. This is my third Miller Lite of the show. I love the afternoon podcast because I'm like, I'm here for the night. I'm in. I'm drinking responsibly.
And you are drinking the original. I don't know how many times I'll say this. The OG light beer since 1975. It has been a huge part of your NFL Sundays, of countless Americans' NFL Sundays. It's the perfect beer for football on Sunday.
Absolutely.
So this football season, enjoy the sweet taste of victory with Miller Lite, the original light beer. Find it pretty much anywhere beer is sold, or go to MillerLite.com/dirty sports for delivery options near you. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. I'm gonna do a little.
It's so good. It's so good, Andy.
Do a little update here, because I haven't checked. We got a 7-7 game and a 1-1 game.
Ooh, football game's already on.
Yeah, second quarter. I'm putting all my trust behind Davis Mills. Oh, Davis Mills. So we've had a lot of news this week about the Commanders.
Oh, man.
The feds are now going to investigate. Oh, if I could only know what happened behind closed doors. The U.S. Attorney's Office will investigate the alleged financial improprieties, which we've discussed, that they basically lied and were doing a little mafia style, cooking the books a little
skimming off the top.
And also that was announced yesterday, and earlier in the day, Dan Snyder said they are looking into potentially selling the team. So they will clearly sell the team now that this is all coming out. I feel the owners put the pressure and they said, again, it's like mafia. You gonna fuck me? You gonna fuck me? No, I'm gonna fuck you.
I don't know what accent that was. It's like the mafia says, are you a fucking me? No. I love that Italians in your fucking world still talk like 8-bit Mario. I fuck you. It's me, the guy who will fuck you. And by the way, that is like a Japanese guy doing an Italian guy in the 1980s. And I'm a fucking you.
I think what I just did is the most offensive thing that's ever done to Italians ever.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Kyrie West, Kanye Irving is underneath this video going, I agree. I agree with what Andy said. I fuck you. It's me, the guy who fucks you.
I guess it's the beginning of the end now for him. And they say it'll fetch, if they do sell a team. The Broncos were the highest selling North American franchise. I think they sold like 4.5 billion, I think it was maybe a little above that. Dude, they're saying that the Washington team is going to they'll go like north of 5 billion.
Yeah. I mean,
which I don't get it so much. Like, why?
Well, first of all, the DC area is massive. That you get all that. Like, think about that. Baltimore, you get DC, you get that whole mid-Atlantic, mid-America, mid-East Coast region. Like, it goes the Eagles, then the Redskins, Washington football Redskin commandos. You get them. And then what's your next closest team to like the South?
Well, where's Baltimore in this?
Baltimore. Yeah, they're right there. But by the way, Baltimore fans, some of those fans have been, have stayed DC fans, have stayed Commanders fans the whole time. There's a lot of people who are Baltimore people that are.
So you got
Commanders
nothing
fans.
until you head down to Charlotte.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a big area.
I guess it is. I never thought of it that way.
And also, I mean,
They have a
obviously,
history of, I
Yeah.
mean, before until he took over with Super Bowls and being competitive.
and then the money that's in DC,
Yeah.
think about all the things. I mean, everything now is luxury boxes and VIPs. If you've been to SoFi, like it's hard to just walk around because all the places it's VIP, that's luxury boxes. This is blocked off, that's blocked off. Think about all the people I'm sure go to games, all the lobbyists and politicians and DC lawyer money and all that stuff. You have an opportunity to build a new stadium. Denver Stadium's already in place.
Yeah, I guess it all adds up. That's crazy. It's just like, I don't know. Again, I want to know, this is all I've cared about, is I want to know what happened behind the scenes, what's going on behind the scenes. All that big ESPN story leaks. I shouldn't say leaks, that the expos say they write and they say all these crazy things that Dan Snyder's doing and hiring private investigators and trying to blackmail all the other NFL owners, which to me, again, was a ballsy move, because it's like, dude, what are you going to do? We already know everything. We don't know everything, but we already know a bunch of shady stuff that they do.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. But good for any Commander fan.
Oh my God. I have a friend. I mean, you know Joe Abel, right? We should have Joe on the show sometime. He's great. But he's a comedian and Commanders fan. And he's always been like, every time something happens, he's like, I'm hoping this is it. And then I sent it to him. I was like, dude, it's finally happening. He's like, dude, he's like Michael Myers, though. He's like, we need to kill him and make sure he's dead. We need just get him on the ground, and shoot him and kill him and kill him and kill him. He's like, there's been so many moments where it was so obvious he's about to be done, but he just keeps coming back.
That is true. That's actually the best comparison. Mike Myers.
Not Mike Myers from SNL, but Michael Myers.
You know what I mean.
He's going to put up Dan Snyder as Mike Myers as the title of the podcast.
I'm not even writing down some
notes. Baby. We're being investigated by the FBI.
Well, they are surprisingly, and I don't even know how, they're surprisingly 500.
Yeah. Taylor Heinicke. What's Taylor Heinicke got to do to just get that job?
Well, he tried last year, and I just don't think he played well enough.
Yeah. But every time he comes in, he gives them, he's got real Nick Foles vibes, right? Comes in, plays well, and then they're like, we'll give you the job. And then he's like, you stink.
Well, you can't say that until we see his junk.
Yeah.
Which is another weird thing that the Philly people really embraced.
Yeah. Just constantly talking about some guy's cock.
Big Dick Nick. Big Dick Nick.
He can fuck me in the butt anytime. He got us a Super Bowl. Whoa. No,
and
I'm just saying, I've heard his dick's like 2 feet long.
And
I
that
take
same
guy in my mouth.
Is probably so homophobic. That's
yeah.
Like that same guy is just out there tossing gay swears.
Those guys in Philly, they're out with their buddy, and their buddy's like, they're out at a restaurant. They're all like, of wings too, of wings and a Yingling, of wings and a Yingling, of wings and a Yingling. And this one guy's like, I'll have a Caesar salad and a Wooder. And they're like, you fag. And they're like, anyway, let's talk about Nick Foles' dick more.
100%.
He's like, guys, I just, I don't eat wings. I just like salad. Yeah. And you fuck men. Anyway, you're out of the conversation. We're talking about how big Nick Foles' dick is. How much I'd love to get strangled by that guy's cock. He's like, oh, that seems way gayer than me ordering a salad. He's like, no. We're just talking about his giant fucking hog and how we want to suck it because he won us the Super Bowl.
100%. Let's just pick that game. We'll go a little out of order this week, as far as we don't have to go in order. We'll go based on the storylines. The Commanders are 3-point dogs against the 6-1 Minnesota Vikings.
And that game is in DC?
Correct.
What time's that game?
It's a 1 p.m. game.
1 p.m. game. Kirk Cousins returning home to the hallowed grounds of you like that stadium. I'm jumping on the Kirk Cousins bandwagon. I'm going with in Kirk we trust in Washington. He loves it there.
Yeah, I agree. So the Vikings just made a big trade. They got Hawkinson.
Yeah.
We got a call about that.
Yeah, because apparently the Lions have given up.
It sounds like it.
They're not even going to wait until that stretch of the season where they were going to go 5-1 to turn it all around.
Oh my God, it's so ridiculous.
It's a great day to be a Scolger, Joe and Andy. It's your number one Minnesota farmer, DirtBall J. We fleeced the Lions for TJ motherfucking Hawkinson. The best tight end we've had since, I don't know, Jim Kleinsasser, whoever the fuck.
Kleinsasser.
Yeah.
Kyle Rudolph is pretty
good.
Good.
Great. Probably lose in the divisional round or whenever Kirk gets tired of playing football, but exciting times. Condoms are for whoever picked the Packers to win the division.
Everybody, except for Vikings and Lions fans. Condoms are for everybody but Vikings and Lions fans.
I'm realistic. Like, I realistically want to look. How many games do we think the Lions actually win now? So they're home against the Packers this week. We'll just jump to that one.
They're
home against the Packers. They're 3.5-point dogs. I'm going to take the Packers.
Yeah.
So you are too?
Yeah. Oh my God. I think the Packers are going to, I think this is going to be the game where like everybody suddenly is like, oh wait, are the Packers back?
I love the headline. TJ Hawkinson trade, a business decision, not influenced by Lions 1-6 record. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Okay, so let's say the Lions lose and they fall to 1-7.
That is insanity. Can you imagine if they were fucking 8-1 right now and they traded their fucking tight end?
I mean, it's just like, it's ridiculous.
Could you imagine that? The fucking even Lions fans, even Lions Reddit would be angry about that one, and they don't get angry about anything.
No, not at all. Okay, so what games are they going to win? They get the Packers this week at home, at the Bears, at the Giants.
I'm gonna stop you right here, Andy. Do we give a fuck?
Yeah, good point.
We've been steadfast in our opinion that this Lions team is a fucking dumpster fire, that Dan Campbell embarrassed himself on Hard Knocks, that we pounded it. Here's the only thing I want to count. I want to count how many dirtball tweets we get saying that at the end of the season, we're getting money for telling you guys without blinking one time that you should all be betting the under.
And both of us, usually we don't vote I'm wholeheartedly agree.
Like there was a that you see those commercials like, we are not financial advisors. We are financial advisors. Bet against the fucking Lions. They suck.
And I also want to say, and watch, we'll have a great game this week. I said I think Aiden Hutchinson is going to like not pan out.
Yeah, you said that. Now I think Aiden Hutchinson has a great chance of panning out when they eventually trade him to some team, and then he fucking goes and wins a Super Bowl MVP, because for now he's on the fucking Lions.
He won good game. And that's the game they won. He had 3 sacks. In the other games, he's had a combined 1.5 sacks. So one good game. You watch that Hard Knocks, they acted like he was going to come into the league and be Aaron Donald instantly. And you're probably right. He'll leave the team, go somewhere else, instantly become a stud. Well, sorry, Lions fans. It's it's a rough road for these guys.
Speaking of pass rushers getting traded from bad teams. No, you know, jump on that segue.
Oh, trade?
Yeah,
Yeah. Sorry. I was pulling it up. Sorry. Doing a million things here.
that's okay. I just wonder if right now you can officially put like the Broncos are
Talk about Bradley Chubb. Yeah.
yeah, the Broncos are not trading away their best players. Can you confidently say now? Are you ready to firmly and fully commit to the Broncos not making the playoffs?
I'm ready. I'm committed now. The Broncos are not going to make the playoffs.
Okay, good. It's great to have you on board, Andy.
Hey, it took me 8 games. I'm committing. When you're trading Bradley Chubb and he's signing a big deal with the Dolphins, yeah, I'm ready. Some teams made some nice upgrades, man. Like, I really like for the Ravens. I like them getting Roquan Smith.
Yeah.
Like
what's crazy about the NFL now is how I feel like how little you have to give up because these teams just like go, they have absolutely no value to us because we stink. So let's give them a second and a fifth. You're like, it is amazing to me. Like I feel like
it's pennies in the dollar, man.
Yeah,
it really is. Like
all these guys,
all of them, and a lot of them, you're like, dude, this guy has value.
But it's just no one gives up first rounders anymore for anything except 50 of them for Russell Wilson. Talk about your all-time backfires.
Look at the Rams last year, the upgrades they made to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like Von Miller, and he's like the idea that like Von Miller is like, oh, like he's older, but again, look what he did for them, and look what he's doing for the Bills, man.
Yeah.
All right, let's get through some of these picks. Chargers, Falcons. This is another interesting one. It's in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. I'll go first.
Okay.
The Chargers are 3-point favorites. The Falcons are 6-2 against the spread. They started 6-0. They have not beat the spread the last 2 weeks. Chargers are coming off a bye week. I just don't know what to make of them, man. I'm going to take Atlanta.
I don't love this. I want to take Atlanta because west to east. But I'm going to go with the Chargers. I have a strategy. This plays into it a little bit, but I don't love it. I would probably take Atlanta if you were taking the Chargers, but I'm taking the Chargers since you're taking Atlanta.
I don't love it either. What I'm just hoping for is Atlanta can run the ball, and this game is a grind out game.
Yeah. I don't love this one, but I do like how this is going so far. So I'm going
to
stick with it.
Your strategy against me?
Well, it's not even a strategy against you. So this is the first one that's been a strategic anti-Andy Ruther pick. The rest of my strategy has nothing to do with you. I just have a new game picking strategy after 8 weeks of development.
All right. Well, I'll let you're first next.
Okay.
Miami at Chicago. The Dolphins are 4.5-point favorites on the road.
Miami at Chicago.
4.5 Fins. Now, both these teams made some multiple trades.
Yeah. I mean, Denver did start putting up Chicago did start making a little offensive noise last week, but then they couldn't keep up with the
last
Cowboys.
2 weeks.
Yeah. Oh, it's fucking tough. 4.5.
4.5. All right.
I'm gonna take the Bears.
Yeah, that was a no question for me. It's 4.5.
I mean, I don't love it because the points that they gave up to Dallas last week, and you think Miami's offense is pretty good. I don't like the outdoors, the fucking probably crappy weather, the crappy grass.
Doesn't help Miami at all.
Yeah, the fact that Chicago's been a little sprightly on offense.
Well, the good news is Tua will not know if he's in the beautiful confines of Hard Rock in Miami or Soldier Field in Chicago with the wind whipping. He's so cracked out of his head, literally, he won't know. And so maybe he'll play great thinking he's in Miami. I don't know. But either way.
That being said, I'm taking the Bears.
Same. Okay. Moving right along, the Panthers travel here, where the Bengals, a little kitty cat game. Meow. 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 Just a little kitty cat.
Do all of the players meet for pregame breakfast at the Cat Cafe with Cat Jason Kidd?
Oh, I like
who has to apologize on behalf of the other cat team, the Lions?
Just picturing him with whiskers on. 7-point Bengals favorites, which seems very high to me. For anybody who watched the Monday Night Football game, I just think
I didn't get to watch a lot of it. So let's go.
This is why I have been so hard on Zach Taylor. This is why.
I have a hot take that I can't wait to unleash after you're doing this, but go do your Zach Taylor thing.
So you take away one of the cogs of their, high scoring offense, at least it should be, right? And it's like, how do I game plan without Jamar Chase? We still got a lot of nice weapons. And I think that showed, like, they're unprepared. And I know this is a Bengals historical thing. I don't know if you saw this. It was the 13th. This is an all-time NFL record. It's a 13th straight primetime road loss by the Bengals.
Interesting.
And like it's there, man. It's a thing. So they just get their ass kicked, right? The Bengals defense has been lights out all year. Finally, they had a down game. So again, you have a coach who's like, okay, I'm missing one of my key players. The defense is playing as good. How am I going to just make this work? He can't. And then for me, the biggest abomination that no one's talking about for some reason is the Bengals are down 32-6 with 8.5 minutes to go in the game. So they could score 3 touchdowns, all with 2-point conversions, and they still wouldn't be winning. And he had Joe Burrow in there after he was getting raped all game. Sacked 5 times at that point. This is the epitome of shitty coaching. You have your star quarterback in the game down 26 points with 8.5 minutes to go. And he's been getting hit all game. What are you possibly thinking? What are you thinking, dude? You're not, because you're not a good coach. And you ride the coattails of some really good players on both sides of the ball. And it's fool's gold when you make the Super Bowl. I'm sorry. I'm going to stick to it. It's fool's gold. Those 3 games they win.
I think having your quarterback in there at that situation is reckless and dumb. But Randy Ruther just texted us. So he's listening. He's not going to like this. He's not going to like this hot take. You, as a return to Bengals fandom, may not like this hot take. Randy, prepare yourself. Sit down.
Don't you dare go at Burrow.
Grab your Miller Lite. Well, first of all, forget that. That's not that. Yes, there's a partial going at Burrow here is part of this, but not specifically. What was the over-under on the Bengals last year for wins? Do you remember? I think it was like
6.5.
Last year?
Yeah, I think it was like 6.5.
Okay. They were predicted to finish last in the division.
Correct.
They went on a nice run. But nice run, but before that nice run, Bengals aren't good. Now, Bengals are okay. Zach Taylor could be to blame, but also you look at Vegas. Vegas doesn't get it wrong a ton. The number this year for them was still like 10.5 or something like
No,
that.
it wasn't even that high. It was 9.5
9.5.
or 8.5 was one of them.
My point is, maybe the Bengals just like aren't that good. Nice little run, but like Taylor, sure, part of it. But also like Joe Burrow, yeah, they don't protect him a ton, but they upgraded their offensive line. Joe Burrow still, bro, you got to give her the ball at some point. Defensively, they don't always show up. Jamar Chase, he's out now. He was quiet to start the year. Like, maybe the Bengals just like aren't that good, weren't really that good last year. It's like a nice run. But like, maybe there's like, I feel like there's this high expectation for them, which you can be critical of their coach, but you're also being, you and Bengals fans, and I've seen it on social media, being extra critical because they made a Super Bowl. It's like, nice run, but like maybe you weren't that good then either.
I don't hate what you're saying, for the record. I actually don't. I think
it's like Vegas has you at 6 wins or whatever, then you have you at 9 wins. Like, so you're a middle of the pack football team. You're not a team that's competing for the Super Bowl this year.
the notion that they caught lightning in a bottle, I don't hate at all. I don't hate that at all. I think they have a high ceiling if they play it correctly. And I see Randy Ruther is texting us as well that, look, if they win this game, they go back to 5-4, and they were 5-4 last year, which I think he's joking, but a lot of Bengals fans aren't. Bengals fans, look, guys.
Yeah, but that's fine. But I actually here's
you can't compare the seasons, for the record. You just can't.
But also
can't compare the seasons.
That's not even how it works, dude.
You can't compare.
So do you remember the Giants 2007? Oh, the Giants, they sneak in the playoffs. They have to play on the road the whole time. They upset the fucking, undefeated Patriots. Do you remember the next year? Dude, they were like 8-0 to start the year, and then Plaxico Burress shot himself in the leg.
Yeah.
Like, if you're a good team, you need to take your Super Bowl and you come out and you fucking dominate. Being 5-4 again. So now so you were 5-4 going into the bye week last week. And if you're 5-4 this week, then you go into the bye week again. So now all you need is another miracle run where you go on the road to like Arrowhead or Buffalo and beat them in an AFC Championship game to go to the Super Bowl. After you upset some other team, you're like technically not better than. My point is, like, that's not the blueprint for a team. Isn't be mediocre and then go on a huge fucking run. Even you look at my Giants, who did that twice in 4 years. That's 4 years apart. Like, that can't be your plan. Your plan is achieve and then build on that, and then build on that, and then build on that. And I would argue that it's looking like you didn't play up to your potential, and now you just keep building on that. It's like maybe you played above your head, and now you're back down to earth, where maybe this is the trajectory of the team. Vegas had you at 6.5 wins, then they had you at 9, and maybe next year you're the kind of team that can win 11 games. But maybe right now you're just hope to make it in the playoffs. Like, I mean, the Bengals are.
They are.
Well, they're in the playoffs right now, but they're also right, or they're one out. But I'm saying, what are you saying they are? They are making the playoffs. Is that your prediction?
No, I'm saying they are a middle of the pack team. I agree.
Right.
I agree.
So it's like you missed the playoffs by a game. It doesn't matter if you were getting hot.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. And the thing is, they were off and on all last year. Let's not forget, I saw them lose back-to-back games in December. Like in December, they lost back-to-back games. Now, I do think a lot of it is coaching, in my opinion. But players have to play better too. I'm not putting this all on Taylor. You got to play better. The new O-line, it's not upgraded. I've seen a lot of things that say it's arguably worse than last year, which is nuts. Guys just aren't working out. They also caught lightning in a bottle last year. They had no injuries. They have had major injuries this year. They just lost Awuzie, who's like their stud cornerback for the year. Chase will be out 4 to 6 weeks. It's like you're losing key people. And it's going to be tough for them, Joe, because, they have a first place schedule. After Carolina, the rest of the schedule it's just not easy if you include division games, because division games are never easy, right? For any team.
Especially in that division.
Yeah. So you can't chalk up a win at Pittsburgh. They already lost to Pittsburgh at home. You can't chalk up a win at home against Cleveland, a Baltimore win. Like, you just can't. So, it's going to be difficult.
Yeah. What's their record in division this year?
They're 0-3. So they can't win the division. They lost every division game. They were 2-1 at this point in the division last year. And for that reason, I'm taking the Panthers to cover.
Yeah, me too.
7's just too big for me. And look, for me right now,
I don't like this. I think I want to take Cincinnati, because I think the Panthers play a couple good games in a row, and they're in those games. And then, God, the end of that game last week, and like, what a fucking debacle. And, there's only so long you can play on like the nobody believes in us, we got rid of Christian McCaffrey thing. I want to take Cincinnati. I actually really do. But it's just like, at the same time, 7 points for a team I don't really believe in at this point. I don't really believe. I mean, I might believe in them to be like better than the Panthers, but I don't have like a ton of faith in them being like a great football team.
Yeah. I know. Well, speaking of the Bengals, remember B Indigo?
Yeah.
He's back, baby. He left a call on the hotline. I think this is him, right? This is him.
How did I know?
I forgot to say, condoms is for Zach Taylor.
Hold on.
Yeah. That's definitely him.
This is him, right?
It's a boy. It's boy B Indigo.
What's good? Dirt balling. I'm geeking that y'all doing that meetup in Cincinnati for what's it called? For the Bills game.
He's
I
so
got
hot.
season tickets, so I'll be up in that motherfucker. And Joe, I wanted to say, like, for everybody trying to find like his girlfriend or whatever, Andy's girlfriend, like, you said, like, like she works in the hood, that narrows it down. I just wanted to say that Cincinnati is pretty much all hood. So
yeah, hell yeah.
That doesn't narrow anything down. Like, where Andy is from is like real nice. But even if you're not like in the hood, you always near there. But anyway, I'm super excited for the game. Who they?
Yeah, but hold on. He did say columns were for Zach Taylor.
Like, he's gotten out coached by everybody in the division, and now I got to walk around with all these Columbus and Cleveland motherfuckers that live in Cincinnati, and they just be laughing and smile. I hate this shit. I hate that we lost to Cleveland like 8 times in a row.
It's tough.
All right, Andy, can I do something?
I texted him.
I'm taking the B Indigo call as a sign from God that doesn't exist. I'm going with the Bengals. I'm taking the Bengals.
You're doing that because fucking Justin texted us.
How dare you? How dare you? I don't give a fuck if Justin lives or dies. Just kidding. I love you, Justin.
You're doing that because he thinks they're going to do what they did.
No, I'm taking it because B Indigo fucking called. I'm doing it. Let's go.
So this is a different. No, I have his number.
I'm going to switch it. Mata, switch me.
Okay, that's fine. I texted him. He didn't respond. And this is a different number too, which makes me think he changed his phone number. So the question is, what did I text some random dude today now? Oh, it wasn't bad. Welcome back to the DS hotline.
Oh, okay.
That's not him for sure. Yeah, man. We're still doing it. Bengals, Bills, DirtBall meetup, DirtBall giveaway. Jed's still in the lead. So you're going to take the Bengals now.
I'm going to take the Bengals. If it was 5.5. If it was 5.5, I feel great about it.
7's a lot.
7's a lot. Be Indigo better be my lucky charm. Otherwise, I'm going to show up to Top Golf in Scottsdale, Arizona and be like, you owe me Miller Lights, you motherfucker.
Well, I don't know what they need, but I can see Randy is he's chomping at the bit. By the way, Randy, I saw you want to get verified on Twitter. I'm going to say this on air. If that happens, I will pay for your verification before I pay for my verification.
Oh, you mean he wants Randy, the Randy Ruther account?
I think it'd be so funny if it will come out of my own pocket. If you want me to verify, I will pay the $96 to verify Randy Ruther, and I will not pay for a while to verify Andy Ruther. I think that would be hilarious.
So wait, you already texted me the other day out of nowhere. You're like, I'm paying for Dirty Sports to get verified.
I am.
And you're paying for Randy Ruther to get verified. And eventually you're going to pay for Andy Ruther. You pay for $300 a year for verifications on Twitter?
All the accounts, baby.
Can you pay for me to be verified on Twitter? Because I'm never fucking paying for that shit. I had my verification, and I will let that shit go into the mist. To be honest, Joe, I don't know if I would pay for myself. I think it'd be funny to pay for Randy, and I would pay for Dirty Sports. I don't know if I'd pay for myself because I don't really care as much. Yeah.
I
put out the tweet. It was half joking, but it was more 100% serious. Like, I have 30 fucking accounts. Unless Mikey's DirecTV password gets me verification, I don't think I'm ponying up $100 a year for it.
People, it's like I was tweeting to. People are going crazy about it from both sides. Like both sides, people are so passionate about it, and it's wild to me how passionate people are.
I think the thing, it seems like it's the thing I appreciate about Elon Musk is it does feel like he's trolling people all the time. I appreciate that. But it does seem confusing because it's like Twitter Blue is a thing that you can already pay for. It's like
that's the thing. Like a lot of people, prior listeners, don't know. I know, and I'm sure Joe does. I know people who have in the past, like in the last 10 years, who have paid because they knew somebody at Twitter or threw $1,000 who've paid, not just Twitter, Instagram, who've paid for verification.
Oh, I wasn't even saying that. There's Twitter Blue, which you pay for $4.99 a month or whatever. That gives you bonus access. Basically, what he's saying now is $8.99 will get you that and your badge.
8, yeah, so $3 more.
So, right. So,
but have you, like, I've known people who've straight up been like,
sure.
Hey, I'm paying to get verified. So like, this isn't anything new. That's what's so funny to me. Nobody's talking about it.
Right. Well, that's backdoor fucking, but I think the thing is like, it seems like it's confusing. It seems like it's like the thing about verification that was the thing. The reason I was able to get verified when I did was a bunch of people had made redneck Joe Prano sucks dick, Eli Manning fucks Joe Prano. Like there was a million accounts that were fucking, I assume Goldberg started because he was upset about the Flakegate or whatever, that were like, and I was like, hey, I've done stand up on TV and I'm whatever. And there's like 30 accounts that are pretending to be me. And they're like, you're verified. So now let's say I don't pay. I lose my badge. And then Joe Prano 1 of 1, which I believe Randy Ruther runs, decides to pay. Now that's the verified Joe Prano. That seems weird.
It's funny.
It's funny, but it seems like a troll job.
Yeah.
When like the point was, this is the person that you're looking for. Oh, you're looking for Joe Prano? He's actually not at Joe Prano. He's at Fix Your Life. and he's definitely not.
Look,
Joe Prano has a lisp from sucking Eli Manning's dick.
I think you're right. I think Elon Musk at the end of the day trolls nonstop. I mean, it's like I tweeted myself, like him and AOC just need to have sex already, because the back and forth, not just the last 48 hours, the back and forth him and AOC have done on Twitter is comical to me. And they both know it gets engagement, so they both do it. And it's like, by the way, how funny would that be if those two became a couple? I kind of want to support it. I'm here for it. Here's a question. I was thinking about this the other day. Is $8 a month more or less than the number of different women he's fathered children with?
Who, Elon Musk?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Do you know that's like his thing?
No, I didn't know that. But I mean, if you have all the money in the world, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, but he's like insanely on, like, we need to procreate more. He's got kids all over the place.
Yeah.
It's like,
no, I don't really know anything about Elon Musk other than what is obvious and out there.
Okay, we got to reel this show back in because we're almost 2 hours in, and I
have a World Series game to watch. Apparently, Pena's got a single for an RBI and a homer for an RBI.
And your game's 14-all, Joe.
Oh, God damn it.
At halftime. I mean, not that they can't blow them out in the second half, but, just trying to get these points here, fam. Okay. Indy at New England. Let's go back to this. New England's 5.5-point favorites. Sam Ellinger.
Not Lamar Jackson. They did not trade for Lamar Jackson before the deadline.
Dude, he called again. I'm sorry, guys. I can't do it. I just can't do it. We're done with that. I'm ending it.
Unless it's a conversation for you, Andy Ruther, we can't play it. That's the rule at this point. You have made your opinion. I no longer have an opinion. I defer to the opinion of Andy Ruther on this in this context. Ruther, I agree with Andy Ruther. It was a better call getting Matt Ryan and taking a chance that he was great than trying to acquire Lamar Jackson, even though the team that he's currently under contract with wasn't trading him, and then paying him $400 million.
The dirtball who keeps leaving that call, if you're in Indy, come to the meetup we do January 2nd. And you and Joe, I want to see you guys have this conversation so you guys can clarify for each other at like a tailgate or something. It'd be kind of funny.
Personally, because I know he's a Colts fan. I remember that.
Yes. Yes. So 5.5.
I would trade for Aaron Rodgers and Josh Allen this offseason and just use them as some sort of wildcat backfield.
Okay, so for the actual game, 5.5 seems high. Also, Belichick against like a guy who hasn't really started. For that reason, I'm taking the Patriots.
Yeah, me too.
All right. Bills, Jets. Do the Jets drop to 5-4? Well, they will, unless there's although this week or this season, nothing is guaranteed. It's in New York. Bills are 11.5-point favorites.
Oh, wow.
You go first.
I'll take the Bills.
Yeah, me too.
I was going, oh, wow, in hopes that you were going first. But no, I just think the Jets, I think, are going to fall off. I don't think the Jets are a playoff team. You got to appreciate what the Jets have done up to this point. But I think that if you're a Ruther, if you're a Randy Ruther or an Andy Ruther, if you're a Chargers fan, if you're a Pats fan, you got to be making playoff. You got to be considering, hey, the Jets are going to drop and we're going to rise in the ranks. And I just think the Jets, they had a nice little run there. Again, offensive rookie of the year is done for the season. I just think that it's going to be tough for them.
Yeah. Okay. Moving along. We both took Minnesota earlier in the show. Vegas at Jacksonville. Vegas is 1.5 favorites. The Jags have lost 4 in a row. The Raiders didn't score last week.
No, they got shut out. Now, do you think they stay down that way?
You would think New Orleans, Jacksonville.
Yeah, you'd think.
Imagine all the Gators between those areas. Which makes me think of hello, Jerome.
By the way, just the other day, I defer to Google Maps, but my Google Maps was misfiring, so I did Waze, and it still has the Ed Orgeron, fucking the Ed Orgeron voice. I'm calling an audible and turning your ass around.
That's unbelievable. That's
You've arrived at your destination. Go Tigers.
All right. Well, I'm up first. This is a tough one for me. Like the Raiders laid a stinker last week. The Jags, do I think they're just going to keep losing? I mean, do the Raiders fall to 2-6? I'm gonna take the Raiders to win and cover.
Same Z's.
All right. Seattle, Arizona. It's in Arizona. Arizona is 2-point favorites. Who you got?
I'm gonna take Seattle.
Me too. Like until the guys, they're winning and they're covering.
Yeah. I actually think this will be a good game. I think this could go either way, but in my head, the spread was a push, a 1-point Seattle favorite. So the fact that it's 2 points for Arizona, it goes against. I'm gonna just say the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, excuse me. I agree. All right, Rams Bucks late game.
In LA?
Wait a second. Why are these? These are some. Why are these times? These times are listed weird. It's no, it's in Tampa. Bucks are 3-point favorites. You're up first.
It's really tough, man.
Yeah.
Both these teams fucking stink. So much trouble. Like the Rams last week, them just getting manhandled. It's just like, I don't know what to do at this point with these two teams.
Oh, I don't either.
I hate it. I wonder if I picked a Rams game right this year. I'm gonna take the Rams. It's bound to turn around at some point.
They're dude. I mean, listen to this. They're 2-5 against the spread this year. The Bucks are 2-6. Like they both stink against the spread. I don't know what's going on. I can't go, dude. I keep taking the Bucks too. I'm the opposite. I keep taking the Bucks. I can't take the Bucks. I just can't do it anymore. I hate this. I hate picking either of these. I'm going to take the Rams.
Do either of these teams make the playoffs?
No.
100% no.
Well, Bucks maybe. Rams no.
If the Bucks want to make the playoffs, they got to win this game.
I agree. But who knows? All right. Titans.
Remember when Sean McVay was going to retire? Remember when Tom Brady was going to retire?
Both should have done that.
And Matthew Stafford also should have retired. Cooper Kupp should retire.
Titans at Chiefs. Damn, this is a big spread. 12 and it opened at 10.5. It's up to 12.5.
Really?
Chiefs are 12.5. Well, Tannehill's still out.
Yeah.
This is one of those games where like Henry
in Kansas City.
It's in Kansas City, where like if the Chiefs score right away and you're like, okay, it's gonna be one of those games, they're not keeping up with them. 12.5 is a lot. Like, can Malik Willis do enough? I don't like it. I'm gonna take Tennessee.
Me too.
12.5 is a lot.
12.5 is a lot. just like ball
backdoor
control
cover.
wise.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like that's got to be the name of the game. I mean, I know Tennessee's not great, but like also Tennessee's not bad.
They've won 5 in a row. I know not the best against the best competition. They've won 5 in a row.
It seems crazy to me to be a team that's 5-2 and be 12.5 point favorites, 12.5 point dogs, especially in a primetime game.
Even with a guy making his second career start.
I'm less worried about that. I think he's going to be okay.
Okay.
Ryan Tannehill. We're all of a sudden like, oh, what are they going to do without Ryan Tannehill?
True. Yeah, that's a good point. Fair enough. All right, Ravens at Saints. Ooh.
I almost want to bet that game. I low key want to bet the Titans. What do you think you're getting on the Titans? You think you're getting 4-1? I think you're getting plus 400 on a 12.
You are. It's plus 460.
Plus 460. I mean, it's fun. That's a fun bet.
Yeah. Why don't we do this?
You think you play that game 5 times, the fucking Titans win one? I think absolutely.
I'm going to hop on over to Prize Picks. And let's see. They don't even have it up yet. Because I wanted to see what the projections that they would have. They're probably going to wait closer for the quarterback situation. They have Mahomes, more or less 270.5 passing yards. I'm going to go more.
Yeah.
They don't have Malik Willis yet, which makes me think it's going to be pretty low. I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah.
DirtBall's all first-time users that deposit and use promo code DIRTY will receive 100% instant deposit match. So go right now, download Prize Picks, and play daily fantasy sports with us. Make sure you use promo code DIRTY. That's DIRTY when you sign up. We're both going to take the Titans, and then the Monday Night Football game, 2.5 Ravens, Saints. Primetime Andy Dalton, not good. Like, awful. Bad. For that reason, I'm taking Baltimore.
I am too. I'm taking Matt Ryan. No, sorry. I'm taking Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. For a second, I forgot that they didn't trade him to the Colts. I'm taking Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. We don't have that many different picks.
No, we don't. Here's a fun one, by the way, on Prize Picks. More or less dude, take this now. More or less 1.5 rushing yards for Aaron Rodgers.
That's wild.
Like more. Aaron Rodgers definitely do that. Download Prize Picks and do that. Like 2 yards? That's wild. Yeah, we don't have too many different picks.
Guess I got to get them where I can get them.
Yeah. We didn't get to everybody's calls. I'll bring them up next episode.
Can I read a good tweet? Can I read a good tweet that I just retweeted? Remember our boy Lyle Behrens?
Yeah.
Kyrie about to go out like Marbury over student film he ain't even watch. I like that. That's funny to me.
That is funny. It makes sense. All right, guys. That's our picks. Give us a call, 310-359-8365. Again, if I didn't play your call, do better. No, I'm kidding. If I didn't play your call,
wait. So there was a call I saw. Can I address a call? There was a call I saw about Dable and Pete Carroll.
Oh yeah.
That was sarcasm, guys. I can't even believe I have to do this with the DirtBalls at this point.
Yeah. Well,
like
I knew
watch the show on YouTube if you don't know how sarcasm goes, because I make faces. Like,
well,
I joked that the week before I took Pete Carroll because he was the better coach, and then I was joking that Dable. How long have I been Pete Carroll standing on this show?
Well, that's what he says.
Yeah.
He says, I don't understand, because you're a Pete. You say Pete Carroll's a top 5 quarterback,
top 5 coach.
I mean, and
yeah, I don't know, guys.
Then you said Brian Dable's a better coach than Pete Carroll. Can you explain? He's like, can you explain?
From now on, I'll do the David Zucker, like, I'm making jokes dance or something for you guys. I mean, he might have that. He has that potential in him. Guys, he's off to a great start, but Jesus Christ, wow. You sarcasm voice. This time I'm gonna take the better coach.
Yeah. Follow us on all social at The Dirty Sports. Drink Miller Lite. Send us a picture. Tag us. Tag Miller Lite. It's always good for us. There you go.
Drink Miller Lite. Tag me in it. Drink Miller Lite when you come to Cincinnati for the Cincinnati Buffalo game, which you can do by making a video and telling us why you should get those tickets to join me and Randy and Andy. Drink Miller Lite, another official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys, when you come to the Cowboys-Giants game on Thanksgiving Day, and stick around the whole weekend for my shows in Plano at House of Comedy, Texas. That's at House of Comedy TX on all social media. I will be there Thanksgiving Friday, Black Friday, as they call it, Thanksgiving Saturday, and Thanksgiving Sunday. 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday, 1 Sunday. Get your tickets now. You can follow me on all social media at Joe Prano, except for Twitter, where I'm still at Fix Your Life. There's a new Dirty Slides episode up that previewed the rest of the World Series, talked about the World Series so far. So listen to that after you listen to this. And I'm going to go because I have a dog to murder. Hey.
I didn't hear anything.
Really?
No.
Can you not hear that?
Has the dog been making noises?
Just right now, like barking aggressively.
Can't hear any of that.
Wow. Microphone. Fascinating.
It is fascinating. All right, guys. That's our show. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy your weekend. And as always, stay dirty.